Good morning, students. Today, I, Pankaj Bharadwaj, will discuss or throw some light on the line by line explanation of the first chapter that is titled as The Last Lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. Okay, students, the language of a country or community is the life breath of the people. It is a bond that keeps the people united. Okay, it is the storehouse of the nation's culture, history, and achievements. The people feel proud of their language as of their national flag and national anthem. The author calls language the key to their political freedom. Okay, clear? The last lesson relates a small episode with a big and very serious message. Okay, in the 19th century, Prussia, a part of Germany, invaded and captured the French district Alsace and Lorraine. Okay, uh, the last lesson is set in the days of Franco-Prussian War, in which France was defeated by Prussia, led by Bismarck. Okay, clear? Consequently, two French districts, Alsace and Lorraine, passed into Prussian hands. Okay, the French teachers were asked to leave. Okay, the order from Berlin aroused a sudden feeling of guilt and regret of not learning their mother tongue, that is French. Okay, students, clear? Let us know something about the author. Alphonse Daudet was born on 13th May 1840 at Nimes, France. Okay, his father was a silk manufacturer. Okay, by occupation, Alphonse Daudet was a short story writer, novelist, and playwright. Okay, the last lesson is an excerpt from his short story Comtesse du Lundi. Okay, and he died in 1897 in Paris. Okay, students, let us go through this chapter. Okay, clear? Uh, Alphonse Daudet was a French novelist and short story writer. The last lesson is set in the days of Franco-Prussian War, in which France was defeated by Prussia, led by Bismarck. Prussia then consisted of what now we now are the nation of Germany, Poland, and parts of Austria. Okay, in this story, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine have passed into Prussian hands. Okay, clear? Let us read the story to find out what effect did this had on life at school. Okay, these were the expressions. These are the expressions that you have to of which you have to infer the meaning from the context. Okay, like in great dread of means in a great fear. Okay, clear? You will get to know their meaning as soon as I start teaching you or giving you line by line explanation. Okay, let us begin. Okay, students, I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding, especially because MML had said that he would question us on participles, and I did not know the first word about them. Okay, here the narrator was very late for school that morning and was in a great fear that his teacher MML, being a strict teacher, would scold him. Okay, and he would ask a question on participles, and the narrator had not even learned the first word about them. Okay, for a moment I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. It was so warm, so bright. Okay, for a moment, like an ordinary student, he thought of running away from school or spending the day out in open field. Okay, and because the day was quite warm and bright. Okay, the birds were chirping at the edge of the wood. Okay, and in the open field back of the sawmill, the Persian soldiers were drilling. Okay, you know, for a student who is unable to learn the work or assignment given by his teacher is a thing that is quite dreadful. Okay, clear. So similarly, the narrator wanted to spend the day out of the doors, out in open. Okay, and he found the ambience of outside was quite tempting. Okay, the birds were chirping, they were twittering at the edge of the wood of the forest. Okay, even the Persian soldiers, they were drilling, they were okay, they were doing the drill. Okay, it was all much more tempting than the rules for participants, but I had strength to resist and hurried off to school. And for him, it was quite tempting. It was quite alluring to remain out in the open, but he had strength to oppose all these temptations, and then he went hurriedly towards the school. When I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there, the lost battles, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer, and I thought to myself, without stopping, what can be the matter now? Okay, when the narrator passed by the town hall, he saw a crowd in front of the notice board. Okay, clear. For them, that bulletin board had been uh, a source of all their bad news. Okay, like the lost battles, the draft, and the orders of the commanding officers. Okay, so without stopping, he thought to himself, what could be the matter then? Okay, clear. Then, as I hurried by as fast as I could go, the blacksmith watcher who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin called after me, "Don't go so fast, Bob. You will get to your school in plenty of time." Okay, and as the narrator uh, went and he hurried, he moved towards the school as fast as he could go. A blacksmith named Watcher, he called after him. Okay, and he mockingly told he called him that there was no need to go so fast to the school. Okay, clear. Because he had plenty of time to reach there. Okay, I thought he was making fun of me, and I reached Emma's little garden out of breath. Out of breath means panting, means he did not adhere to the watcher, the blacksmith's words, and he kept running, and then he reached Emma's little garden panting. भागते हुए पहुंच गया. Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street, the opening and closing of desks, lesson repeated in unison, very loud, with our hands over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. Okay, but now it was all so still. I had counted on the commotion to get to my desk without being seen, but of course, that day everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning. Okay, students, here the narrator has compared the ambience of the school with that of the usual one with that of the present one. Okay, he recalled that usually when school began, there was lots of bustle, hustle and bustle, or lots of commotion, or you can say noisy disturbance. Okay, there were so many sounds and noises that could be heard out in the street, like the opening and closing of desks. Okay, lesson repeated in chorus. Okay, and very loud, and sometimes they had to keep their uh, fingers on their ears to understand better. Okay, and occasionally his teacher MML uh, MML great ruler, he uh, wrapped uh, on he wrapped the ruler on the table. Okay, but now it was very silent. It was quite still like a Sunday morning. He thought he would take the advantage of the commotion, the noisy disturbance, to get to his seat without being seen. But, of course, that day was quite still like a Sunday morning. Okay, through the window I saw my classmate already in their places, and MML walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. And when he saw through the window, he found everyone was seated on his bench. Okay, and uh, his teacher MML, he was walking up and down, keeping an iron ruler under his arms. I had to open the door and go in before everybody. You can imagine how flushed and how frightened I was. Okay, being a student, you can easily understand his condition, how ashamed and how frightened he was when he had to open the door and come before everyone's eyes. Okay, but nothing happened. MML saw me and said very kindly, "Go to your place quickly, little French. We were beginning without you." And when he entered the class, MML, to his surprise, said very politely and asked him to take his seat. Okay, and even he informed that they were beginning without him. Okay. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat, his frill shirt, and the little black silk cap, all embroidered, that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. Okay, students, you know the name of the narrator is Fran. Okay, so when he jumped over his seat and he took his seat, then all of a sudden he look at his teacher's dress. He looked that his teacher had put on his fine Sunday clothes, special dress, okay, with frilled shirt, okay, and the black silk cap, okay, and all needlework done on it, okay, and this was the dress that he had never wore except on inspection and prize days. So he was thinking what was the specialty, or yeah, what is the special occasion today that he had worn such a dress. Okay, beside the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. Okay, and instead of these things, the whole school seemed quite strange and serious that day. Okay, but the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty, the village people sitting quietly, like ourselves, old houser with three cornered hat, the former mayor, the former postmaster, and several other besides. Okay, and the thing that surprised Fran a lot is looking the old villagers sitting on the back benches that always remained empty. Okay, today they had been occupied by the villagers. Okay, so many villagers like old Hoser. Okay, he had come with his three-cornered hat. Okay, and the former mayor, the former postmaster, and several other distinguished person of the village. They had occupied the seat that day. Okay, everybody looked sad, and Hauser had brought an old primer. You know what primer is? Primer is a kind of kids book. Okay, clear, clear, in which alphabets are written. Okay, so everybody looked sad. Old Hauser had brought an old primer, thumbed at the edges. Thumbed at the edges means have crumpled edges, okay, or dirty edges with the overuse. Okay, so okay, and he held it open on his knees uh, with his great spectacles lying across the pages. He had brought an old primer and he opened it, kept open it on his knees, okay, and he put his spectacles uh, across the pages, okay. While I was wondering about it all, MML mounted on his chair, okay, and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me, said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. Okay, clear? I think these lines are quite easy and you have understood them very well. Okay, let us read the means in these lines the MML, the teacher, he made an announcement that it was their last French lesson as the order had come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine instead of in place of French. Okay, so he wanted them all to be very attentive. Okay, what a thunderclap these words to me. Franz was thinking that it was a sudden shock uh, for him to him. Okay, clear. He got a bolt from the blue, sudden unexpected shock uh, by this declaration. Oh, the wretches, that was what they had put up at the town hall. Now he understood what had been put up on the bulletin board. Okay, the news from Berlin, the order from Berlin had been put up on the bulletin board at the town hall. Okay, students, my last French lesson. Why? I hardly knew how to write. I should never learn anymore. I must stop there then. Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lessons, for seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the Saar. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of saints were old friends now that I couldn't give up. And my and MML too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. Cranky means eccentric, sunky. Okay. Now, Franz was explaining his feelings to himself. Okay, he thought it was his last French lesson, and it filled him full of remorse. Okay, and he thought he hardly knew how to write his own language. Okay, even he would not able to learn it anymore, and he had to stop there. Then, okay, then he regret of not learning his lessons. Okay, even instead of learning those lessons, he always uh, tried to seek birds' eggs and sliding on the Saar. Saar is a name of a lake. Okay, clear, clear. And even sometimes, even his books on grammar or the history of saints that seemed him such a nuisance. Okay, and quite burdensome to carry. Okay, now a complete transformation of thought has been occurred. Okay, and all those books became his old friend. Okay, and the idea that MMR was going away made him forget all about his cranky nature and his iron ruler. Okay, students. Poor man. It was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes, and now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the classroom. Okay, now friends got to know why the villagers had come uh, to the school on that last day. Okay, even why their teacher had put on his fine Sunday clothes. Okay, everything now quite now was quite clear to him. Okay, clear. It was because they were sorry that they had not gone to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was not theirs anymore. Okay, students, here in these lines, uh, Franz showed Franz showed what he understood. Okay, he told the reason why the old villager had come. Okay, they had come to show their tribute and pay homage to the country that was not theirs anymore, because Germany would take possession uh, on them shortly. Okay, and this is their way of showing their respect for the country that was not theirs anymore, and to thank their master for his faithful service of 40 years. Okay, students. While I was thinking of all this, I heard my name was called. It was my turn to recite. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for participle all through, very loud and clear and without one mistake. Okay, when he was thinking of all this, he suddenly heard that his name was called, and it was his turn to recite the rules for participles that seemed quite dreadful to him. Okay, but I got mixed up on the first word and stood there holding on to my desk, my heart beating and not daring to look up. Okay, and when as soon as Franz started to recite the rules, he got mixed up on the very first word, and holding on to his desk with his heart beating, he stood silently. Okay. I heard MML say to me, I won't scold little friends, you must feel bad enough. See how it is. Every day we have to say ourselves, bah, I have plenty of time. I will learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. Students, please be more attentive, because in these lines there is a theme hidden of this story. Okay. Uh, then, when he stood silent, his teacher MML said him that he would not scold him because he would feel bad enough. Okay. Then he made him aware how we become so pretentious every day. Every day, the students, make promise to ourselves that we will learn something the next day, and then you see where they have come out. Okay, that's the great trouble with Alsace. She puts off learning till the tomorrow. Puts off means to delay something deliberately. Okay, and that's the great trouble that Alsace has put off learning. It has delayed learning till the next day. Okay, and now see, those fellow out there will have the right to say that how is it you pretend to be Frenchman and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language. And now MML said that the Germans have all the right to make their fun. Okay, clear? Make their fun of why? Because they would clearly say that they all that the people of Alsace always pretend to be Frenchmen, but they did not even know how to learn and write their own language. Okay, but you are not the worst, poor little French. We have all a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Okay, and here MML, uh, being an honest teacher, a sincere teacher, he told friends that he was not solely responsible for not learning his language, because they all have to reproach ourselves themselves with. Okay, clear? Okay, students, you know what reproach means? Reproach means criticize or blame, means they all have to blame themselves. Okay, your parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They preferred to put you to work on a farm or at the mills, so as to have a little more money. And I I have been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons. Okay, here the teacher first blamed the parents for not being so anxious enough that in sending their children to school. Instead of sending them to school, they preferred them to work at a farm just to earn more money. Okay, and then being an honest and sincere teacher, he blamed himself also. He said even he had to be blamed. Why? He said that he had sent the students water his flowers instead of learning their lessons many a time. Okay, even whenever he wanted to go fishing, he always declared a holiday. Okay, so partially he was to be blamed for not teaching them their mother tongue, that is French. Okay, students. Then, from one thing to another, MML went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful, okay, language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Okay, then MML told them the importance, the significance of one's language. He told that their mother tongue, that is French, was the most beautiful language in the world. Even he called it the clearest and most logical one. Okay, and asked them to guard it among them and never forget it, because when a community and the people of any community, they are made to slave. Okay, as long as they hold their language in their heart, it would be their key to their prison. It would be the key to their prison. Okay, then he opened a grammar and read us a lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it, and all he said seemed so easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully, and that he had never explained everything with so much patience that day. It was their last French lesson. So when MML taught them a lesson in grammar, okay, Franz was able to get each and everything taught by his teacher. He thought to himself that that day everything was so easy that he got to learn everything by heart. Even he realized that he had never listened so carefully and that his teacher had never explained uh, these things with so much patience as ever. Okay, clear? It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. Okay, and he thought to himself that now his teacher MML he was behaving as if he wanted to teach them all he knew at one stroke, at one go. Okay, clear? Okay. After the grammar, we had a lesson in writing. That day, MML had new copies for us, written in a beautiful round hand. France Alsace. He looked like a little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the road at the top of our desk. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work and how quiet it was. Okay, and that day he had brought some leaflet on which he had written in beautiful zigzag writing, France Alsace. Okay, and the narrator, that is French, wanted us to be there. Okay, and he said if we had been there, we would have seen the scene, the scenic beauty of leaflet that were floating like flags, little flags, all around the classroom. Okay, and it was quite silent that day. The only sound was the scratching of pens over the paper. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid any attention to them, not even the littlest one, who worked right on tracing their fish hooks, as if that was French too. Okay, here French, the narrator described how everyone was set to work and how serious they were. Okay, even the littlest, the kids, they did not paid any attention toward the beetles who had once entered the room. Okay, on the roof, the pigeons cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing even the German? Sing in German, even the pigeons? Friends thought whether it could be possible to teach the pigeons sing in German. No, the natural instinct of man cannot be changed. Okay, students. Whenever I looked up from my riding, I saw MM sitting motionless in his chair and gazing first at one thing, then at another, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little schoolroom. Okay, whenever from his writing, French looked up at MML, he found him sitting motionless and gazing first at one thing, then at another thing, as if he was capturing the image of that last lesson in of the classroom in the classroom. Okay, fancy, quite imaginable this thing. For 40 years, he had been there in the same place with his garden outside the window and the classroom in front of him. Okay, and now friends thought it was quite an unbelievable thing that he had spent 40 years at a place, okay, where he had a garden outside the window, okay, and the class in front of him, just like that बिल्कुल ऐसे ही दिखाई दी. Only desk and benches had been worn smooth. The walnut tree in the garden were taller, and the hope vine, a creeper, okay, that he had planted himself, twined about the window to the roof. Okay, clear. He thought that it was quite unbelievable for him that he was capturing the scene of the classroom where he had spent 40 years. Okay, there are there are some changes that had been occurred. What the desk and benches, they had worn smooth. Okay, the walnut tree grew longer. Okay, and the creeper hop vine that he himself planted twisted around the about the window to the roof. Okay, how it must have broken his heart to leave it all, poor man, to hear his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they they must leave the country the next day. And friends could even feel the remorse MML was feeling. He thought it was quite painful for MML to listen to the sound of his sister packing their trunks as they had to leave the country the next day. Okay, students? Okay, but he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. After the writing, we had a lesson in history. Okay, with lots of courage, he delivered the last lesson. After the writing, they had a lesson in history, and the babies chanted their ba, be, bee, boo, bo, boo. Okay, these are the French alphabet. Okay, down there at the back of the room, old Roger had put on his spectacles and holding his primer in his both hands, spelled the letters with them. You could see that too was that he too was crying. Okay, his voice trembled with emotions, and it was so funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. Ah, how well I remember it, that last lesson. Okay, students. These words are the factual description of the last scene of this classroom. Here, when they had a lesson in writing, okay, a lesson in history. The kids, they started chanting their alphabet. Okay, then old Ozer, he tried to uh, recite the alphabet with them, and it was quite funny to hear him uh, crying. Okay, they wanted to laugh but they cry. Okay, okay, and here he commented, MML comment, sorry, friends commented that how well he remembered that last French lesson. Okay, students, always keep it in your mind whenever we are very curious and when we listen to our teachers very carefully, the lesson or the day will always be in our permanent memory. Okay. At once, the church clock struck 12. Okay, then the Angelus. At the same moment, the trumpets of the Persians, returning from drill, sounded under our windows. MM stood up, very pale in his chair. I never saw him look so tall. Okay, clear. At all at once, at 12 o'clock, the Angelus church bell, it struck 12. Okay, and it was the moment when the Persian soldiers would take possession over Alsace and Lorraine. Okay, at the same moment, the trumpet of Persian soldiers, okay, returning from drill, sounded under their window. Okay, then MMS stood very pale, very nervous in his chair. Okay, and here friends told that he had never seen him look so tall. Means he had never seen him look so nervous and so confident. Okay, my friends, he said, I I, but something choked him. He could not go on. He could not continue on speaking. Okay, something choked on it. It's a painful moment for him. Okay, then he turned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote as large as he could, Vive la France. And then, with all his power, he took a piece of chalk and wrote in a zigzag way, as large as he could write. He wrote, Vive la France. That means, Long live France. Then he stopped and leaned his head against the wall, and without a word, he made a gesture. है ना? He made a gesture with his hand. The school is dismissed. You may go. Okay. On after leaning to the wall, he made an indication to all the students that they could go home as the school was dismissed. Now, students, before summing up this session, let me give you a knowledge of the theme given in this story. Okay, the story beautifully brings to highlight the human tendency to postpone the learning of things for one feels there is plenty of time to do so. Okay, one never knows when the doomsday will dawn and bring an end to our hopes and aspirations. Okay, okay, the natives or the citizens of Alsace realize their folly of not giving due importance to their study of French in their school days. They become victim of linguistic chauvinism with the acquisition of their districts by Persia. Okay, they receive their last lesson in French and are compelled to bid farewell to their mother tongue. Okay, the story also highlights the brutality or cruelty of war, which makes man insensitive and to human feelings and emotions. Okay, students. So this is the theme. These are the themes given in this story. Okay, students. This is all from my end today. Okay. Thanks for watching the video.